Let's learn 100 sentences in Spanish for traveling. Disclaimer: for those of you in the spectrum, yes, I know some of them might have some mistakes. It's Google Translate generated. Doesn't mean that they're not useful. If you learn 100 sentences, even if there are some mistakes, you'll be able to say a lot in the language. And that's much better than not being able to say almost anything, even if you make some mistake here and there. I've got news for you. You can't learn a language without making some mistakes on the way, right? Also, these are language islands. This is not the only thing you should be doing to learn languages. You should be learning with beginner materials, link mini stories, Asimil, Glossica, and so on and so forth. Learn all the basics of grammar and vocabulary with that, using the same method, massive amounts of input, memorize vocab, etc. This is for specific situations. And again, if there are mistakes, it's because you can't learn without making mistakes. This this is a way for you to learn a lot of sentences that you can use in conversation. It doesn't mean that it's perfect. You can never be perfect. If you make mistakes, you learn from them, but you'll have a lot to say. And if you can't say a lot, interactions will go longer. You'll get more practice, more confidence. You'll speak way more, and you'll learn to speak way, way faster. All right? So, no, it's not perfect, but it's really, really useful. Okay, that's it. Let's get started. We've got the instructions here. So rewrite the sentences if needed to fit your situation. So yeah, you can rewrite them if you need them um, to whatever you're going to do on holiday. This is a list of 600 sentences for basically every situation you might have when traveling, from airport, flight, taxi, hotel, etc., to nightlife, eating out, talking to street vendors, meeting people, etc. Everything in between, emergencies, whatever, everything. Um, Not all the sentences will be useful for you, and there will be some sentences that you like to have or that you will need that are not here. Obviously, it doesn't have absolutely everything that you need, or not everything is useful, but it's a pretty good list. Again, you can adapt it to your needs. Yeah, that's number one. Number two, copy and paste text in DeepL or similar translator. I've already done that for Spanish. If you want to learn French or Russian or whatever language uh, to travel, then simply copy this after adapting it to your own needs and paste the translation here. Yeah, English column here, Spanish column or target language column here. It's not rocket science, anyone can do it. Next, memorize target language, vocabulary with associations. We'll not do that here today. I don't need to memorize Spanish because I am a native speaker, or native level speaker. It's not my first language, but you get the idea. But yeah, you can, if you don't know a lot of vocab, you can memorize it with associations. Go watch my other tutorials on how to do that so that you can learn hundreds of words quickly. If not, you can learn straight away with input, which means reading and listening. In this case, best way to do this is start reading. So first we'll read it. We'll read it aloud. We'll check the meaning. I don't have to check the meaning, but you can check the meaning. And basically, we'll read the whole list aloud several times until we can pronounce them pretty well. We can say them easily. Yeah. If your pronunciation is not great, then you need to do different exercises for that. This is mostly for fluency. All right. And accuracy. You learn correct sentences, or mostly correct sentences. Um, you'll be able to say a lot. So try to speak in complete sentences, not word by word. Instead of detalles del vuelo y tarjeta, you read the sentence and then you say it aloud. Detalles del vuelo y tarjeta de embarque. Read it, then you say it. Disculpe, ¿podría confirmar los detalles de mi vuelo? Por ejemplo, hora de salida, número de puerta, Yeah, you stop in every comma or full stop, and you then, after reading it, you say the whole sentence, like minimum 2 3 words. That way you sound way more natural. Okay, so let's start reading. Flight details and boarding pass. Detalles de vuelo y tarjeta de embarque. Disculpe, ¿podría confirmar los detalles de mi vuelo? Yeah. Could you please confirm my flight details? I'm not going to read the English part. Just look at it and I'll say it in Spanish. Me gustaría hacer el check-in para mi vuelo a destination, que sale a las, para mi vuelo a Bogotá, que sale a las 4. You just have to type the name of the place and the time there and say it. Again, if your pronunciation is not good, you just have to do listening practice. That's not what we're here for. This is just part of the learning process, all right? This alone will help you. This will help you say a lot more, be able to speak a lot more in certain situations that you prepare for. But it's not the solution to everything. You need to do a lot of other stuff. Yeah, learn the basics and a lot of listening to learn dry pronunciation for yourself when you speak and also for comprehension. So yeah, basically you read the whole thing aloud. The 100 sentences, 100 and I was feeling generous, 113 sentences, fewer. There are some gaps in between. And also this, yeah, 100 sentences. Okay. You read them all aloud and checking the meaning. A lot of them are related, similar to each other. So you start seeing patterns, recognizing them. You'll start to understand more and more. You keep checking the meaning. Once you've read it aloud several times, then we cover this. Maybe let's just make this bigger. Yeah, this works. So here you'll make some mistakes. You make a lot of mistakes. But basically what you have to do is a translation exercise. Do this after reading you go right and you get to Spanish, you read it aloud over and over again, the whole list. And then you translate into Spanish. Yeah? So, airport check-in en el aeropuerto. Facturación en el aeropuerto. Yeah, we say both ways these days. Flight details and boarding pass. Detalles del vuelo y tarjeta de embarque. You see, it's not easy for me even if I'm a native speaker. Disculpe, ¿podría, por favor, confirmar los detalles de mi vuelo? ¿Podría confirmar los detalles de mi vuelo? Por ejemplo, departure time. Hora de salida, número de puerta. Ok. Me gustaría hacer la facturación para mi vuelo a Bogotá que parte a las 3, for example. Que sale a las 3. Yeah. Because there are synonyms, you will not always use the right word from this, but doesn't mean it's not correct. If you know it's correct, then it's fine. And again, substitute this with the place, the number, and whatever comes later, depending on whatever you're talking about. Aquí tiene mi pasaporte o DNI y la referencia de embarque, la referencia de reserva. Okay. Yeah. ¿Me puede dar mi tarjeta de embarque, por favor? ¿Puede darme mi tarjeta de embarque? Yeah. Puede darme o me puede dar. It's the same thing. And you do it like that with the whole thing. And you make lots of mistakes if you say it's wrong. Like, this was similar. ¿Puedo darme? Puede darme. Yeah, this is wrong. ¿Puedo darme? It'd be like, can I give myself? No. Puede usted darme. Yeah. But if you make some obvious mistakes, like you got nothing right that sentence, whatever. And you see, this is not a big. Puedo darme. Yeah. When you say it fast, doesn't make a difference. But if you don't know some words and you want to translate into Spanish, then you realize you don't know the words and you will not be able to say anything. Or if you say completely wrong, use the wrong words, whatever, then when you check, you'll notice. And then you should say it, read it aloud one more time, say it correctly. Yeah. And then continue. And do this with the whole list over and over again. And yeah, eventually and when I say eventually, I mean in just a few days if you do it over and over again. Like in a week, you can learn hundreds of sentences with this, and you can have a bunch of sentences for each and every situation you'll find uh, yourself in when traveling. So, and this is, by the way, something that you can do for any other situation. You can do it in your hometown as well if you want to meet experts or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just make a list of situations, conversations you want to have, and do this. This is the language islands technique, and it's really good to get good at speaking. But this particularly is for traveling. Um, so yeah, do the whole list first. First, read them all aloud over and over again, and once you can do it relatively easily, translate it from English into Spanish. In this case, if you want to learn another language, I know I'm repeating myself, but translate it into another language. And you've got, like I said, sentences about boarding the plane, in flight, so you can talk to the stewardesses and stuff. Destination, taxi, hotel, check-in, public transport, shopping, emergencies, cultural experiences. There's basically everything here. This whole list, you can find it in natural language learning in the course, or you can find it in the description there. I decided to share it for free because it's useful. So if you want it, go download it, make a copy, and use it for your own purposes. I hope you found this useful. Give it a like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff, and see you next time.